When you feel blocked, when you feel like you've hit a plateau, you need to learn how to do a proper full moon ritual. You've been wasting your time, so stop the full moon meditations, stop the crystal healing, stop the astrology, the tarot reading predictions. They serve the purpose of making you feel good. But when you want real changes in areas where you know that you have hit a plateau, you need to perform a proper full moon ritual. Good morning, my beautiful Daikini. If you stick around, I will teach you the proper steps on how to do a proper full moon ritual where you can see real changes in your life and where you actually come out a changed person. And Daikinis, I have not posted a long instructional video in a while, so I would like you to like, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet to my channel. Definitely hit the notification bell so you know when I have a new upload. And I know you're going to want to come back to this video for future reference. So I'm dressed this way because I am currently doing my own full moon ritual. I'm actually about to take a spiritual bath, and I wanted to use this opportunity to share my ancestral occult knowledge on how to properly do this with you. This is me sharing 23 years of occult knowledge and performing full moon rituals consistently. If you're new to my channel, you may not know it, but I am a potion maker, and I make all of my potions following the moon cycle. All of my potions being activated on the full moon. You may already be addict of full moon meditations from your internet mainstream gurus, Reiki healers invoking general ascended masters, love and light beings who quite frankly do not care about you and most likely will not show up. They don't know you. Doing a full moon meditation is good on some instances when you have issues with mindset, with emotional triggers. They may help you feel a little lighter, though they will never alleviate any of that. But if you really are addicted to the full moon meditations, if you stick around, I will tell you when exactly is the auspicious time to do the full moon meditations. So on the day preceding the full moon to the day right after the full moon, there is a big energetic portal where a series of energetic actors come to us in a flux that is the biggest of the entire month or moon cycle. What I mean by energetic actors, I mean spiritual entities, entities of the invisible, of all realms and dimensions that are coming here on Earth at the same time. This is actually where astrology can come into play, because the spiritual entities that are coming are here to make an impact in your self-realization and transformation journey during that cycle. Some of them come from the underworld, and they're here as enforcement agents, making sure that you're going to continue paying your karmic debt, aka continue on respecting your karmic soul contracts, aka that you continue to suffer, that you stay in your state of victimhood. And please actually pause the video right now, close your eyes and do an introspection and see where exactly you're still holding on to the karmic vows, which people should no longer be part of your life but you're allowing them to stay, what behaviors reinforce your karma and are contributing to you being miserable or you staying mediocre or you never hitting that glass ceiling that you feel is over your head. Comment in the description box below the video so that some of that energetic weight is alleviated from you. But of course, and thankfully, in addition to the karmic enforcers, you also have divine entities. So you're going to have ascended masters, angels and archangels who are here to carry messages of hope and peace. You're going to have a lot of people channeling the messages. Such messages are never going to be transformational, and they're certainly not giving the action plan or the energetic boost you need to take the plunge fearlessly.
your bloodline, your ancestry, your matron deities, matron gods, matron goddesses, all of whom you should know by name, by role, and most importantly, the energy exchange protocol. Every full moon is your opportunity to set yourself free from karma, take a tangible step towards self-realization, fulfillment, and ultimately become the master of your life. And actually, I was speaking of astrology. One of my good friends who was an astrologer told me that astrology is basically like the weather forecast. It's putting a light on where exactly you're still serving unnecessary karma and where you may have opportunities, openings, strength, things to watch out for. But there is no such thing as astrology without rituals, without magic remedies. One word you need to remember for this entire video: everything is energy. Keep that word in mind. Everything that we do, everything that we are, the value we hold in society, how magnetic we are to the things we desire, or how we are repellent to the things, people, circumstances, everything revolves around that one thing: energy. Energy is our currency. Energy is how we translate our worth into money. If you don't have a way to harness energy, you are literally invisible. You feel empty, depleted at all times. When you have achievements and accomplishments, they feel devoid of actual blessings, which ultimately is why you were born. And if you're interested in being a student of the occult, of spirituality, you can purchase my spiritual course on my website, link below the video. When you go on Pinterest and all of your social media where you probably hang out way too much, you're probably familiar with terms like the universe conspires to give you what you want, to bestow upon you all of your wishes. Energy is limitless. What the creators of such content fail to either acknowledge or are ignorant about is the fact that, yes, energy is limitless, energy is source, energy is divine. However, it can only be absorbed through energy exchange. Energy is also the reason why you have a certain category of people relying on evil practices, evil rituals in order to harness this energy. When you do a full moon ritual, you're basically aware that you're not just a physical body. You are composed of many layers. Your physical, emotional, astral, causal, etheric, etc. All of the layers that make you a holistic being. All of the layers that you must feed energy. So when you're doing a full moon ritual, you're basically feeding every single layer that encompasses the holistic you. Even someone who has 23 years of doing this, like me, 23 years of doing this as a professional, but I've been actually doing this since I was 6 years old. Reference to my book, Addicted to Pleasure, the Goddess Formula to Manifest Our Most Capricious Desires, where I speak about my process and my great-grandmother, who was the original matriarch and who passed on the gift of making potions and healing women. You have to prepare. They're actually pretty similar across ancestral traditions. When I did my initiations with Lakshmi and with Lalita Tripura Sundari, we also do the Panchakarma. The idea is to detox your spiritual and physical body. Depending on the moon, depending on what you're going through in life, you will do either a 72-hour dry fast, meaning no solids, no liquids, including water, or a 24-hour fast. You have to cleanse further, either by doing an enema for my clients, because an enema can be quite brutal. I provide them with an herbal blend, which they take as tea, which allows them to cleanse their digestive system so they are ready energetically. Daikinis, at this point, I have bombarded you with precious information. I hope you're grateful. I really hope so, because I'm giving you everything. Show some love, share this content, comment, spread the word out. Women need to know this stuff. So you first start with a purifying shower. You need to have a cleansing wash. Me, I make my own hyssop shower gel, or sometimes I use pure hyssop. You have to pray over it. You have to activate the spirit of the hyssop so you can wash with it. The next step is the spiritual bath. This is what I'm using for myself. This is a seal to protect the deities I'm working with, which are under the umbrella of Mami Wata, are very meticulous, very precise. They like beauty, they like order, they like precision. So this is a specific elixir that I'm going to put in my spiritual bath for tonight. This is the one that I'm using tomorrow night, the night of the full moon, and this is the one I'm using for the night after tomorrow. When you're done with your bath, you now have to activate your sexual energy by doing womb rituals. I only work with women, and I can only teach women how to embody their goddess and have, what did I say the word for this video? Say it now. Yes, energy. The majority of people I come across have a depleted womb. Their Swadhisthana or Svadhisthana chakra, the wheel is running slow. The Kundalini is barely rising. The majority of you are still operating from your survival instincts. Survival in relationships by always feeling like men are going to do you wrong. Feeding on the trauma that you've experienced yourself or that you've witnessed other experiencing. Survival when it comes to money, even when you have a lot of it. Feeling like people are after you. Feeling like men are no good. You can't find a man at your level. Having the fear of losing the money. Never really feeling fulfilled. So the first night you do a yoni steam. Basically, you're going to sit over steam and an herbal blend that carries the sacred feminine principle, or aka the goddess that you're invoking for your full moon ritual. And tomorrow I'm doing a wet yoni smoke. See how gooey it is? Even though it's not the purpose of this ritual, this makes you so juicy, so yummy, so electric when it comes to intimacy. And on the third and last night of the ritual, I will close it by doing a dry yoni smoke. So at this point, I've shown you the majority. You may feel like, oh wow, it's not over. No. So once I'm done with my yoni ritual, this is actually the best time to do the full moon meditation. If you own my program, Moaning to Manifest, you have an actual template which includes your affirmations, trigger observation, sacred feminine breath, which I call my Venusian infinity breath. So you calm your nervous system and you get your mindset right. That's when you actually apply your potion if you own one of my potions. For the full moon, I do my 3 muse diamonds: self-love, self-obsession, and self-seduction, which I do sample size. And then I perfume myself, I perfume my altar, and I'm going to renew this every single night before going to bed during the moon cycle. This is the Mami Wata perfume I created. And this last part is just for me. It pertains to me as a potion maker, as an occultist. This is indigenous to the forest of my country. This is what we use during our ancestral indigenous initiations and rituals. It allows me to show me what's going on in my life, in my family's life, whether I should be worried about some spiritual attacks, whether my children also are doing good. When it comes to my divine gift, me being a 12th generation potion maker, this is how I get the formulation when I make your potions. If you've watched my content for years and years and years, you may wonder, how come you've never spoken about Mami Wata before? I've spoken about Hathor, Aset, or the one you call Isis if you're still mainstream, Lalita Tripura Sundari, Ishtar, Of course, I've spoken many times about my initiation with Oshun. I've spoken about Yombumba, your cosmic mother goddess, your money lover. I've spoken about Lakshmi, about Kundalini awakening. Gosh, the Hindu deities were the reason why I created the Goddess Awakening mantra album. They gifted it to me, which is why I was able to create the sacred tunes, Sanskrit mantras, which are helping you elevate your Kundalini and raise yourself energetically.
Adi Shakti, Sarab Shakti, Pritam, Bhagavate, Kundalini, Mata Shakti.
I've never spoke about Mami Wata. This is the new earth. Things that we had to keep secret in the occult, some of it is now allowed to speak out loud. Some of it we can come out of the closet. Just know that whatever a woman should aspire to in her life, in the safest way, with the bravest heart, Mami Wata is the one to go to. So, for the purpose of the full moon ritual to be a ritual which is ephemeris in nature, meaning that all of the elements I told you have to dispose of at the end. For myself and for my clients to whom I provide this additional service, I gift them with a few additional elements. Remember, what did I tell you? The word that is the guiding thread of this video: energy. You cannot call upon generic beings in the universe without knowing their role and what they do to you, what they specialize in, and how to basically enter into an agreement with them. For Mami Wata, energy exchange protocol. You need to have a portal representing her, a place through which she can come in her condensed form to breathe her magic to you. Also, she holds the trinity of qualities of self-love, self-obsession, self-seduction. In that, I could even include self-expression, self-realization, which ultimately is the goal for every single one of you. Incarnating, being born in this physical realm. I mean, you can't just be born without an aim, right? You can't just be born to lose, right? You can't be born to be walked all over, right? You can't be born to be a victim. What's the point? So there you have it, my beautiful Daikinis, detailed instructions on how to do a proper full moon ritual. I pray that all of your dreams, desires, aspirations be granted to you by the Most High. I pray that you get the tools to be fulfilled on a daily basis and live in your most elevated state. Yes, some days are harder than others, but this is done not to punish you, but to give you an opportunity to rise. I hope you learned a lot in this video. Manifest lavish imperial opulence. I love you, and I see you in my next video.
Bhagavate.